Sometimes in life it feels like you're running to stand still. It's exhausting and frankly demoralising sometimes when you're trying to do a low spend year, as I am in 2025, and the prices keep going up and up and up on utilities, groceries, insurance, pretty much everything's going up and it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. However, I don't know about you, but my income is not going up to reflect the changes in price increases. So the gap is getting wider between the income and the prices. It's hard to keep going when that low spend year feels like an uphill battle. So I've been in a bit of a funk with this in the last week. I'm not really sure what triggered it. I think it was doing my June budget and seeing where the money was going or not going, as the case may be. And I just felt a bit down and I felt, well, what's the point? Now, that's a very sort of defeatist attitude, isn't it? You know, I mean, of course there's a point. You know, it'd be even worse if I wasn't doing a low spend year and the prices were still going up. So that is a very good point, and that's a good reason to continue. But if, like me, you're feeling a bit demoralised and a bit down in the dumps about how your frugal efforts are going, how your low spend efforts are going, or if you're not doing that, just how life's going with the sort of crisis that we're in at the moment, I'd like to give you 5 ways so you can get out of frugal fatigue and look forwards to a more positive time, but also so that you keep going and you don't give up. So let's get started. Thank you for watching today. My name's Rachel and this is Rachel for Real. I talk about life as an over 50-year-old. I talk about my low spend year. I talk about my low income and how I cope as a solo person on a low income. And I talk about all sorts of things that come to mind, really. How I'm doing with my low spend, what I'm not succeeding with. Sometimes I'll talk a little bit about my allotment. So it's quite varied, but it's mostly around aging and finances. So you're very welcome if it's the first time you've joined me. And if you've come back to watch again, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And if you'd like to like and subscribe to the channel, that would really help me out. The more the merrier. And I look forward to reading any comments that you would like to leave. Okay, so let's get started. Tip number 1. In order to boost your mind and make yourself feel more positive, you need to do something to get out of the slump. And the best way I can think of doing that is to look back over, what are we now, June, so the last 5 months that I've been doing my low spend, and see what I've achieved in that time. That way your focus is put on positive, not negative things. So what have I achieved, for example? I have started to set a budget. I'm getting better at sticking to my budget. I've started a £2 coin saving challenge for myself, which I will show you in another video. So every time I get a £2 coin, I put it in savings. Now that doesn't sound a lot, I appreciate that, but I don't have an awful lot spare to save, so anything that I can save is a bonus. And I'm happy with that. It also gets me into the savings habit. So if my circumstances change and I get more income, I'm already in the habit of putting money away each month, so I can put more away. So my £2, although it doesn't seem very much now, will mount up and it gets me in a good frame of mind to save some of the money that I'm earning and not spend it on frivolous things. So take a look at what you've achieved so far. It's very important to celebrate the wins. We're very quick to put ourselves down and to say we're not doing very well or we're a failure or why bother. But we have to acknowledge where it's going right and where our actions are giving positive results. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2. If the prices are going up but your income isn't, there's going to be either a shortfall or it will affect what you're able to buy and certainly what you're able to put away into savings or investments. So in order to top up your income, maybe you could take on a side hustle. Now I know that's talked about a lot and it's not as easy as it would seem at first. It takes time to get these things off the ground. It takes time to get some money back from your efforts. So it's not a quick fix. However, a slightly quicker fix that I would suggest would be to have a look around your house or your flat, wherever you live, and see if there's anything that you're not using that you can sell. And although you might not get an awful lot of money in return, you will get some income when those items sell. So recently, in order to get a little bit extra income, I've been putting some things on eBay. I haven't tried vintage yet. Let me know in the comments whether you find vintage easy to use and whether it's been useful for you. So I've only tried eBay because that's what I know, and I have sold a few things. I put some more on this morning and hopefully they will sell and I'll get a bit of income. I've got some clothes to go through, and that's probably a more suitable thing to sell on Vinted, I would think. So I might investigate Vinted, see if I can put the clothes on there and earn a little money back. They're sitting there doing nothing anyway, so they might as well go and be used by somebody who can enjoy them, and I'll get a little bit of income back. So see what you can sell. Tip number 3. This one might be slightly tricky in the current economic climate. However, it doesn't mean it's impossible. If you're employed, have a think about what you've achieved in the last year, what you've helped the company to do in your department, and ask for a pay rise. Now, I'm self-employed, so I can't ask anybody for a pay rise. The only thing I can do is put my hourly rate up, which personally, the current climate, I don't think would do my cleaning business any good. I don't want to lose customers because they feel that they're having to pay too much. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge that I need to earn income. I'm giving them a service, a good service, and they're paying for it in return. So I think probably in April next year, which is the new financial year for us in the UK, I will probably put my prices up a little bit. Not an awful lot, but a little bit, so that over the span of a year, I do get an extra chunk of money. So have a think about how you've helped the company you work for, or if you're self-employed, whether there's any way you could put your prices up or cut costs on materials, that sort of thing, and see whether you can garner a little bit more income that way. Moving on to number 4. Take an inventory of all the things you've got in your home. By doing this, you can extend the period between shopping trips, and this obviously will save you money in the long run. So have a look in your bathroom, ensuite, whatever you have. Look at all the toiletries you've got, what you need to use up before you buy any more. There's probably a lot kicking around that you maybe got for Christmas but haven't started using yet, or you've bought extras because they've been on sale or a 3 for 2 offer. So have a look, write down everything you've got, and then you can see and work out roughly how long they will last you before you need to buy more. In the same vein, check your fridge, your freezer, your food cupboards, your pantry or your cellar if you've got one, and have a look at all the food that you've got. I bet it'll be a lot more than you think you've got. That old thing that we all do, oh my goodness, I've got nothing to eat, a bit like nothing to wear when we've got a wardrobe full of clothes. You have probably got food to eat, and if you haven't, then please go and get some help from food pantries and food banks. Don't go hungry, there's no shame in it. Go ask and get some help. However, for most people, although they might be on less money spent on, well, they're spending more money on groceries, but they've maybe cut down on quality or amount, you probably do have stock in your house that you can cook and eat before you go to the supermarket and buy any more. I think it's also quite handy to take inventory of equipment you've got for hobbies, because it's very tempting to go out and buy the new latest sparkly thing, or the thing you think will improve your performance in a sport, or will be the next best thing since sliced bread for your knitting or crafting hobby. But realistically, you've probably got quite a lot of supplies already. You've probably got some equipment for your sports if you play sports. So go and have a look at all of that, see what you've got, and I'm pretty sure that for now at least, until circumstances change, you'll have enough to keep going with your hobbies without having to go and spend any more money. So yes, stretch out the time between shopping trips by using what you already own. And the 5th and final tip that I've got, which I'm using for myself as well, is do at least one thing every day that makes you happy and feel good. This is really important to keep psychologically healthy. Sometimes it can be quite depressing when it feels like you're running to stand still. Your income doesn't stretch as far as it did. The prices are going up faster than you can earn money. So every now and again, we need, well, daily preferably, we need some time to ourselves doing nice things that give us pleasure, give us joy. So it might be going for a walk, it might be having a nice bath, reading a book, listening to music, doing your hobbies, whatever you find fun, relaxing, preferably free, but possibly low spend. So those things can sort of give you value, can't they? They make you feel better. They make you feel like you've got quality of life. And that's really important when you're cutting back on spending in other areas, especially if you spent money as an activity. You know, you go shopping every weekend as an activity, as a way to fill time. And now you're trying to be more frugal, or you're doing a low spend or a no spend. Suddenly you've got a lot of time. So filling that time creatively or productively or even unproductively. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit down and relax. By doing that, you're bringing value into your life. You're using your mind, you're relaxing, and it changes your perspective on how life is, how much you need to spend, all of those lovely things that you can do that don't cost money. And I think that's really crucial when you've got frugal fatigue. We need to look for all the positives in it, so that we don't feel deprived and we don't feel depressed. And that will give us like a lift. It'll increase our energy, get us motivated again, and we can get back to watching our pennies, trying to save money, looking at a budget and see if we can cut anything else. If not, maybe we could earn a little bit more money. So I hope those tips have helped you. They're the things I'm doing at the moment to try and get out of my frugal fatigue and my funk that I'm in at the moment. Let me know any ideas that you've got, or what you do when you're feeling a bit down and a bit jaded with the low spend, no spend process. And I would love to hear your comments. Please like and subscribe to my channel. As I said before, it really helps. And let me know anything else you'd like me to make videos on. That would be really helpful, because I want to give you value. I also want to talk about things that you're interested in and that we can discuss together. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next Saturday. Bye for now.